everybody. You're on 514 Online Mix, and today we have a very, very special guest. This is our first time not doing an artist with music, so this is really a highlight for us, Vanessa, and I want to thank you for being here. And as you may know, I am your host, Priscilla Nicholas, and can you please tell everybody who you are?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me into your space, into your environment, and sharing your platform with us. So my name is Vanessa Manroop, but you can just call me Vanessa. And I'm currently 23 years old, a student at Concordia University in Human Resource Management.
Ooh.
But I love to volunteer and give back to my community. So I'm involved with an organization called Wibca, which is the West Island Black Community Association here in Montreal. And one of their startup projects that launched September 2020 is called BlackGirls Gather, a book club. And I just want to come here and share what we've been doing and share what's going on with us.
Awesome.
So yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for reaching out to us. Like I said, this is a highlight for us. And can you tell us, why did the book club start? Why did you guys, all come together? Because you said there's 8 of you, right? So why did you all come together and start this book club?
Yeah, so we're a really big team because there's a lot to do with our project. But our core coordinators, Mariam and Fabiola, shout out to them, came up with this idea because they went to, and most of us went to predominantly white schools where, one, you don't feel represented in your classroom, you don't feel represented in your curriculum also. So the books that we read, stuff that was taught at school didn't really represent a melanated girl, a Black girl. And so we felt that we need to create a space where young Black women, young Black girls can come, read literature that represents them, that talks about their hair, that talks about maybe stuff that they might have been insulted by, like stuff like that, and give them a safe space where they can express themselves and feel included in a society where we feel continuously excluded. So we wanted to create a space where they can read books and share, and it's really just been a great bonding experience as well with the girls, because we just all relate to the same things, and so it's just great to not feel alone.
Oh, I can definitely identify with that same issue. I too went to a predominantly white school, and there wasn't a lot of books, and there wasn't a lot of teachings that represented me. And, growing up, that it causes so much confusion. It really, really does. And I'm so glad you're here, because this is also healing for our community. So shout out to what you ladies are doing.
Yeah, it just brings also, like, we talk about mental health, and we always ask the girls, hey, before we start discussing the book, how are you doing? And what's going on with your life? And we always tell them that they can always reach out to us, send us an email, give us our social media so we can connect. Like, we really want to be mentors and like big sisters to these girls. And that's what's so great. Like, with all of us on the team, like, we all have the same vision and the same goal to just better our society and better our girls and empower our girls to be just better women and strong, and we just love it. We love it. We love it. We love it.
That's awesome. And on behalf of 514 Online Mix, I would like to thank you for what you're doing for our future generation. This is something you are doing after you pass on. This is something that is going to stay within the community forever, as long as, our children keep this up. So thank you.
Thank you. That means so much. Me and the girls on the team, we joke about, like, when we have to pass on the book club, who are we going to pass this on to? Because we're going to be so picky with who takes over this baby of a project that we've born, we've birthed. And it's just but we're so excited. Like, we just really hope that it becomes something like super big and that it keeps going on and that people see the importance of what we're doing.
Wow. Wow. You're giving me goosebumps. I love talking to people who give me goosebumps. So thank you for that. And, Fabiola and Mariam were on CBC to talk about the book club as well. So how did that make you guys feel as a team?
So honestly, every time we get an interview or just a little article or anything, we're all screaming like, yes, we made it. Look, Mom, we're on the TV. Like, we're all just super humbled by the experience and just super grateful. And we just love to share what we're passionate about. And so we didn't feel like, oh, we're celebrities or we're big shots. We're just like, let's just share what we're doing and what we're passionate about. And hopefully we can get support from other people, you know what I mean? So it was great. We were so excited. We're like, yo, we know those people on the TV, like they're my friends. So it's just great.
That's amazing. So how did the community respond to what you guys are doing today?
So, well, Wibca, when we presented the project to them, loved it. So supportive throughout the whole thing, and so they're like, yeah, let's do it, let's take it on. And we have girls signed up, so we were full in September. So obviously other people felt that there was a need. We also have a donation link going on right now, and we've received, it started at the beginning of Black History Month because we're just doing a special Black History Month, and we received over $1,000.
Wow.
Our goal is $2,500 for the month, but we can see that people actually do believe in what we're doing and supporting us. So it's been great, honestly. We haven't had any haters on our backs yet. So
that's amazing. So I can imagine growing up and, you know, not finding a lot of like books, articles, teachings that represent who we are as women, as men, as melanated people. How, like, especially because you guys talk about your mental health, you guys talk about how you're feeling before your book club. How did that affect your self-esteem growing up? Because I can imagine it was very hard. Because for me, it was very hard growing up, you know, being a little bit confused as well. So how did that affect your self-esteem growing up?
I feel like I've always been a leader and the loud one. So
Woo!
in my group, I feel like I would just always just kind of take my space and make sure that you know that I'm there. But I also didn't necessarily experience what Fabiola and Mariam did, because I went to a school where there was a lot of immigrant people, a lot of Black people. Yeah, so my classroom, actually, we could count on our fingers how many white people were in the room. Okay. So I really had a reverse experience, but I do relate to how what we read. I was like, okay, but this is great for them, but I can't relate to this story or this experience because that will never be my experience as a person of color, you know?
Thank you so much for sharing that, because there are so many different sides to everyone's story, right? Everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different journey. And I get to enjoy hearing that, you know, you were surrounded by people who look like you. You were surrounded by people, you know, who you can relate to. And that is important. That is important. We're not excluding the white community at all. You know, we've grown to, you know, adapt with them, but it's also important to find out who we are and where we come from as well, and where we're going.
For sure, 1,000%.
That's amazing. So during the CBZ interview, the host, she brought up the mockingbird. Okay. And I think it was Mariam. I'm not too sure if it was Mariam or Fabiola. I'm not too sure which one said it, but they said that the mockingbird was not a good story to talk about racism. Can you actually explain, if you can you explain what you think she meant by that?
So I can agree with that as well. I have the same opinion. But when I was younger, I didn't really feel any way about it. But it's because the book depicts white saviorism, where it's always like a white person has to come save Black people, which isn't true. There's also a lot of movies. Like, one of my favorite movies used to be The Freedom Writers, which is a movie about cultured kids in a classroom, and the white teacher works extra hard and makes sure that they get all their grades and sends them off to college, where they weren't even thinking about college. In that movie too, I loved it, but then when you think back at it, it's like they always depict a white person to save the poor little Black girl or the poor little, so that's what they really meant by it. Like, it's a great book, and we all love the book, it's well written, the storyline's great, but to start off or kick off a conversation about racism or about white privilege, like, it doesn't really depict what needs to be said, because in the end it's like it's kind of teaching you that you need white people to save you, which isn't true. So I think that's what they meant by it.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. And I agree with what you are saying. I definitely agree with what you're saying. Can you tell me who were some of your role models growing up?
Okay. I look up to my family a lot. So the women in my family, they've done great things. Most of them are immigrants, right? They left my home country of Guyana and came here and started a life, and they're doing great. And so it's just, I really look up to them. I also have Kemba Mitchell, who is the chairperson of the West Island Black Community Association. We're really close, and honestly, every time I talk to her, she's always starting a new project or looking for a new way for Wibca to grow and all of that. And it's like, it's so inspiring because it's just so ambitious and hardworking, and she really does inspire me a lot as well. So yeah.
Ooh, shout out to you for giving your flowers to the people who are here today as well. Shout out to you, because we have to give our flowers to the people who are here.
I agree. I make sure I tell her. She knows. I'm like, you're my role model. You know that, right? Okay. Letting you know, because it's so important to also, like, it makes them feel good about themselves, one, but two, you never know if what I'm saying to them can motivate them to do even more, even though I'm like, you already do too much, but like, just to keep going. And if on a rough day they need a reminder that, like, yo, you're killing it, like, I'm that person.
I can just imagine how happy your role model is, seeing you grow, seeing you accomplish what you desire for the greater good. I'm sure she can, just sit back and be like, you know what, I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, I think the people in my family also, like, they're like, wow, you're doing so much, you're so involved, you're in school, and like, it just keeps me going too. It keeps me focused, and it gets my mind off the pandemic as well. Like, so yeah, I'm blessed for sure.
You mentioned your family, and some people don't know, but for me, the most important people to impress is my family. If they weren't watching my videos, if they weren't, interested, then it didn't matter. I just really want to make my family proud. So I feel you on that. I have a question.
Yeah.
For the people who do not read, okay? What can you say to them to inspire them to read? Because it's so important for our community to read, and a lot of us are not inspired to read. So what can you say to inspire the community to read?
I feel like there's so much you can learn through literature. That's like, yes, watching a movie you can learn too, but like, it's so deep when you actually take the time and read it and take notes. Like, some of the books, you can't put it into better words or put it into better pictures. Like, the words are already there written, and I just feel like you need to start with one book. Okay, just start with one, pick up one. If you Google best Black book or whatever, and just start there, and you're gonna see how much you learn through literature. Like, it's world changing for real. And if you're a slow reader, like, it doesn't matter, like, do a chapter a month even, but it's just like, there's so much knowledge there, 1,000%.
You said it best. And before we go, you guys are associated with the Gala Dynastie. Can you tell us how you are?
Okay, so BlackGirls Gala, the book club, was nominated for Engage Initiative of the Year.
Yes.
From the Gala Dynastie. And so we were just humbled. We were floored, and we were just so honored that our small little book club was recognized by an organization of our peers, and so for that you need to go vote. And so the voting ends on Monday, so February 15th, And yeah, you just go vote and you have to confirm it by email. But like, yeah, we're just honored to be nominated in a category of like so many all the other projects in our category also are just amazing. So we were like, wow, we were just really humbled by the experience.
You know, I'm not trying to keep you too long, but I have a million questions to ask you. And I'm trying to, but you know, I really wanted to know, how did that make you feel being nominated?
We all, I tell you, we all just started screaming. We're like, what? We couldn't believe it. And like, we knew a few days before it was actually like to the public, but even when it came out on the day of the public, we received so much love and support. Everybody was tagging and sharing and telling to go vote for us. And it's just great. Honestly, I feel so honored because the Gala Dynastie is Black people voting for Black projects.
Exactly.
And so to be recognized by your peers, to be recognized by other Black people that what you're doing is important is just flooring, honestly. Like, we knew our book club was important because my team, we believe it's important, but like for other people to see the worth in what we're doing is honestly like humbling, for real. Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine. So for the schools today, because you mentioned you're going to Concordia.
Yes, Concordia.
Yes, for the schools today, do you feel like they're changing when it comes to their literature today?
I can only speak by my experience.
Mm-hmm,
and I'm
yes.
gonna say no because I haven't had any cultured things mixed into any of the English classes I took in college, because I'm not taking any English classes right now. But like, I don't really see a difference. And especially because recently it showed up at Concordia that a teacher had used the N-word in the classroom very casually. And so to me, it's like we're trying to make strides, but still some people aren't hopping on board. You know what I mean? So I haven't seen the difference yet. I feel like there's still a lot of work to be done. But yeah.
And you know what? And it all starts with what you're doing. It all starts with what your team is doing. And shout out to you ladies once again for what you're doing. It's really inspiring, and I'm really happy to be able to speak to you guys about what you're doing. And thank you once again for being here on 514 Online Mix. Can you tell everybody once again who you are and where can they find you?
All right, so I'm Vanessa. I'm on the team of the BlackGirls Gather book club team, also a big volunteer at the West Island Black Community Association. You can find us, so BlackGirls Gather Montreal, on Instagram. So it's BlackGirls Gather MTL. You can find Wibca at Wibca Montreal NPO. And I'd just like to shout out a Wibca event that's coming up soon.
Please.
So on February 27th at 6 p.m., we have an event called Young, Black, and Gifted, where we showcase young Black entrepreneurs in the Montreal area, so they can share. We are sharing our platforms with them so they can share their business, and so that you can go support them. And
that's amazing.
For Black Girls, yeah, we do it every year, and it's always such a success. And the entrepreneurs always appreciate having a platform to be showcased on, and we believe that's important as well. And for Black Girls Gather, you have to go vote for us for the Gala Dynastie Initiative of the Year. And we also have a donation link going on. We're trying to raise $2,500 for the month. So we still have 2 weeks to go, and we just hit over 1,000. So thank you for your support again. And thank you so much for having me here and giving me this interview. I'm humbled and so blessed by your presence and you having me here.
Thank you. I too am humbled, and I too am extremely inspired by what you guys are doing. Like I said before, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope to hear from you soon.
Yes, you'll know if we win. How
yes,
about that?
Yes, I can't wait. And you're on 514 Online Mix, and I'm your host, Chrisella Nicholas. See you next time. I'm breathing it.